Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking.
This morning, more audio of the frantic call from the boat Nolan Wells was supposed to have taken to shore after celebrating July 4th with friends on a remote barrier island off the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
And what do you want to do? Do you want to be towed back?
I want to get this boat unsank and towed back, yes.
The caller told the dispatcher everyone aboard was unhurt and noted he and the passengers were young.
There are 0 adults on board. Nobody here is over the age of 21.
Documents obtained by ABC News show that boat set off for Horn Island just before 10 a.m. the morning of July 4th. Wells and his friends arrived at 11:14. For the next 5 hours, the boat was stationary until it left at 4:31 p.m. without Wells, moving at no more than 4 knots. Whatever problem the teens reported was resolved about an hour later at 5:25 when vessel regains normal operation and begins accelerating at 30 to 35 knots. Friends said they did not abandon Wells. Rather, the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources reported his friends saying Wells was in the company of an unknown female and that he chose to remain at the island. As searchers began scanning the island and surrounding waters, this email obtained by ABC News shows the preliminary information they were given, describing Wells as a black male, 6'1", 180 pounds, wearing shorts only. The Marine Patrol listed his alcohol intake as heavy. The state's autopsy, including the results of toxicology tests, is pending.
As long as we continue to remember him, his light will continue to shine through us all. Nolan, we love you. We'll continue to fight for you.
Wells was laid to rest last week. A source tells ABC News on the day of the funeral, his mother sent his friends legal notice to expect a lawsuit, instructing them to preserve evidence and not to delete anything on their phones. Nothing further from the Wells family about those impending lawsuits. Meanwhile, the district attorney has asked for patience in the investigation, saying minimal releases of information are meant to protect the integrity of the case. Officials have provided no timeline for when it will be complete.
So today, you see, we have another update in the Nolan Wells case. And let me say this before I even start, because this is very important. Some of y'all are moving way too fast. One side has already convicted people. The other side has already closed the case. And the truth is, neither one of us knows exactly what happened. Only God knows everything. You know, right now, there are still investigations going on. Attorneys are reviewing evidence. Experts are reviewing the boat distress call. And the official investigation is still ongoing. So before we start throwing names around or ruining people's lives, slow down and let the facts speak. You know, see, this is what bothers me about today's culture. Everybody wants to be the first. Nobody wants to be right. Social media has turned everybody into a detective with Wi-Fi in a comment section. You know, somebody hears one rumor and now all of a sudden they solve the whole case. Slow down. Justice doesn't come from emotions. Justice comes from truth. Now, let me tell you where I stand. Do I think there are serious questions that need to be answered? Absolutely. Do I think the family deserves transparency? 100%. The family has raised concerns about inconsistencies. You know, they've hired independent experts and they want every piece of evidence reviewed. I respect that, because if he was my family member, I'd want every answer too. But at the same time, I cannot sit here and tell you somebody is guilty when I don't have the evidence to prove it. You know, that's not justice. That's emotion, pure emotion. And emotion has sent a whole lot of innocent people to prison throughout history. We've seen it a lot. See, one thing I've learned a long time ago is this: don't let your pain become your proof. Pain is real. Suspicion is real. Questions are real. But proof is something different. And until proof shows up, I'm going to stay where the Bible tells me to stay. Proverbs 18:17 says, the first to plead his case seems right until another comes and examines him. That's wisdom. Hear everything before you make your final judgment. James 1:19 also tells us to be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to become angry. That's exactly what this country struggles with. We're quick to speak and slow to listen. Now, people are saying because Nolan was black and the others involved were white, there has to be a cover up. Others are saying there's absolutely nothing suspicious going on. My answer is simple. I don't know. And neither do you. What do I know is that every piece of evidence should be examined to the T. Every witness should be interviewed. Every question should be answered. And if somebody did something wrong, they should be held accountable, period. But if they didn't, then they shouldn't be destroyed because the internet wanted somebody to blame. You know, that's not justice either. Let me also say something to the young people watching me. Be careful who you surround yourself with, man. I don't care what race they are. Character matters more than color. You know, stop picking your circle based on popularity and start picking your circle based on integrity. You know, because one bad decision, one bad environment, one bad night can change your entire life, as we see. The Bible says in 1 Corinthians 15:33, do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. That's not talking about race. That's talking about the people you allow around your life. So my prayers continue to go out to Nolan's family because no parent should have to bury their child while still wondering exactly what happened. You know, I also pray that if anyone knows something, they find the courage to tell the truth, because eventually every hidden thing comes to light, period. Luke 8:17 says, for nothing is hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open. That's why I don't panic. You know, I don't have to force the truth. The truth has a way of introducing itself. So until then, let's stop acting like prosecutors on TikTok and start acting like people who actually care about justice. You know, pray for the family. Pray for everyone involved. Let the investigators do their work. And when the facts come out, then we can have a real conversation, man. Until then, I'm choosing truth over trends every single time. God bless you. And I'll see you in the next video. Doses.